This short demo reviews the Hello sample from the Code Samples library included with the ABBYY FineReader Engine distribution. You'll see where the sample is found, how to launch it, and how the code follows the standard FineReader Engine processing workflow. The Code Samples library provides descriptions of the included samples, supported languages, and links to the installed source code and binaries. Let's start by locating the Hello sample and reviewing what it does. The Hello sample demonstrates the core steps required to process a document: initialize the engine, optionally load a predefined profile, create a document object, add pages to it, perform recognition, export the results, and then clean up by disposing the objects you created. The sample is available in multiple languages. For this demo, we'll use C++ to show the workflow clearly, but the same processing pattern applies across languages. To run the Hello sample, we launched the compiled sample binary that was installed with the developer distribution. The easiest way to launch it is through the FineReader Engine program group in the Start menu. The pre-configured apps interface is intentionally minimal. When we click Go, it processes a bundled sample document and exports results to output files. The quickest way to confirm success is to check the output folder. Before we run the sample, notice the output folder contents. In a moment, you'll see new output files appear after processing completes. Now we'll run the sample. The status text updates briefly while the engine initializes, loads the document, performs recognition, and exports results. Once processing completes, the exported files appear in the output folder. This confirms that the sample has run successfully and produced results. Let's open one of the outputs to verify the result. In the default Hello sample, the results are exported using the default profile. With export to formats like RTF or DocX, this default profile often preserves the original layout reasonably well for simple documents. For more complex documents, you typically switch to the document conversion accuracy profile to better preserve layout in DocX or RTF exports. And depending on the use case, results can also be exported as plain text or as structured formats such as JSON or XML. Now that we've confirmed that the Hello sample works, we'll look at the source code and connect it to the steps described in the Code Samples library. In the source, the execution starts when you click Go. From there, the sample loads the engine and calls the main processing function that follows the same steps listed in the sample description. First, the sample creates the engine object using the initialization function. This is the first required step in any FineReader Engine application. The engine must be loaded before anything else can work. The engine is the top-level object in the FineReader Engine hierarchy, and it provides access to all other FineReader Engine objects used by the application. Next, the sample optionally loads a predefined profile using the engine's load predefined profile method. Profiles provide scenario-optimized settings such as document conversion, archiving, or text extraction. If we do not load a predefined profile, default settings will be used. For PDF inputs, the sample can optionally check for an existing text layer using isPDF with textual content. If a text layer exists, the file text can be copied without recognition to speed up processing. Existing text layers are not always reliable or accurate, so this option should be used only when the quality of the embedded text is trusted. If there is any doubt, even when a text layer is present, it is safer to have FineReader Engine fully process the PDF and generate a new, reliable OCR text layer. The sample then creates an FR document object, which becomes the container for pages and recognition results. Next, it adds pages from the input file to the document using Add Image File. This is where the sample defines the document pages that will be processed. Recognition is performed by calling the process method of the FR document object. In the Hello sample, this single call runs the full pipeline: pre-processing, analysis, recognition, and synthesis, using the default settings. If more control is needed, the sample allows you to create document processing params and configure parameters for pre-processing, analysis, recognition, and synthesis. If no parameters are provided, again, default settings are used. After processing, the sample exports results using the export method. The output format is selected based on the export format enum, a predefined list of formats, and you can use optional export parameters to fine-tune the output. Finally, the sample closes the document and unloads the engine. This releases resources and is a very important best practice for real applications and services. Now that we've walked through the code, let's run the sample again and watch the result. Check the output folder, then open the exported files to see what FineReader Engine produced. And that's the Hello sample. Simple, clean, and a great starting point for understanding how FineReader Engine processes documents. It demonstrates the standard FineReader Engine processing pattern: initialize the engine, configure settings, create a document, add pages, process recognition, export results, and clean up resources. Use this sample as a reference workflow when building your own document processing solutions.